Hello, Jamie boy.
Hey,
Um,
what's going on, guys?
The
Nothing.
man,
We're
the myth,
happy
the
to
legend.
exactly. Um, I hope you know we're very happy to have you on here. You are an inspiration, you're a walking smile, and you also just immerse yourself in every group and every room when you're out and about. So
Wow, those are
we're
very kind
excited to have
words.
you on here. No, it's just the truth.
I'm very excited to
Um,
be here, and it's a pleasure.
yeah. Would you define yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yes, yes, most definitely. That's who I am. That's who uh, I I embody an entrepreneur, and I'm not.
Oh, he pulled it out right away.
Oh,
And I'm not saying that just because I'm trying to toot my own horn, but at a very young age, I just felt like that's just who I felt I was. I
Mhm.
had no question or no doubt uh, in my mind that's who I wanted to be,
Yeah.
and I just kind of always had a bit of like I guess my dad was an entrepreneur, my grandfather was an entrepreneur.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next question is what do you think drew you to it? And it's not tooting your own horn. Like Mano and I'm 21, he's 20, right? And
Yeah,
I'd say both of us feel the exact same way. Like there's
yeah,
just nothing else that we can really picture
amazing.
ourselves or feel ourselves doing. So
Yeah, I'm sure everyone finds their own path in becoming an entrepreneur. Some people grow into it and discover it for themselves. Other people, it's just kind of like almost like an innate feeling,
yeah,
almost conviction. That's like this is for me, and
yeah.
that's from what you've shared with me. We have similar sentiments. So,
Mhm.
uh, to answer your question, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
and when did you get started? Like when I guess when was the first time in your life, or what at what age did you get started in entrepreneurship?
Um, I would say I was sort of forced into it, almost like a survival instinct. My dad was an entrepreneur, but he wasn't very good with money. Not to take
Mhm.
anything away from him, or maybe it's a collection of circumstances that befell him between my dad and my mom. So it was stressful, and there was always a concern with money, whether the debt would overwhelm us and we would lose our lifestyle, our livelihood.
Mhm.
So I remember even being, you know, 19, 18, I was thinking to myself, like, I gotta really help my parents get out of debt.
Mhm.
And I really I was like, they gave me so much, they raised me. So
Mhm.
like now it's my turn,
Mhm.
the now that I'm like officially an adult to
Yeah.
start giving back and get them out of this debt. So I like put my personal pursuits on the side just to like get my parents out of debt. And then once they were out of debt, I told myself then I could like refocus on me. And every dollar I made, I just went to paying down my parents' debt, and they saw that, and they gave me
Mhm.
more responsibility, more ownership, and said, "Hey,
Mhm.
okay." So I started making like financial decisions, business decisions in the business with marketing, admin, hiring, accounting. So um, yeah, that's kind of how it was, kind of just out of necessity how I got into
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
You really dove in
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to, right? I had to.
Yeah.
So
Can I
yeah.
ask how long it took you to pay off that debt? When, because you said you once you finished, then you would like let yourself do your
Yeah,
own
so
thing.
it kind of never was fully paid.
Hmm.
I had an epiphany. One of the girls I hired at the time, still remember Nancy, she told me, "Hey, listen, like you can't fix all your parents' problems. Like you have to start focusing on yourself, build your own fortune, and then when you're in a better position, from there you can actually better help people.
Yeah.
But if you keep trying to push someone else along and not do anything for yourself, and make your success and your happiness contingent on someone else's
Yeah.
like success,
Yeah.
then it's you're doing yourself a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I actually started separating my money. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna help you still. I'm gonna work for this company, but I need my own pay. I opened up my own bank account, started collecting my own money, started, and then you know, pay myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially separate, because before I was just throwing all my money to my parents, and then I would just have like a little allowance. Like I would just have like a debit card, and I just buy myself a few bagels or whatever just to survive, just to have some food. And I was like, I learned to be very frugal and very good at budgeting at a very young
Mm-hmm.
age because of this. Um, I would go out with my friends to eat, and if they go somewhere like like a restaurant, not even somewhere fancy, but just a restaurant in general, I didn't want I still wanted to socialize, but I would buy
Mm-hmm.
like a bagel from Tim Hortons first. So
Okay.
I would eat the
No.
I would eat the bagel at the restaurant,
Yeah.
or I wouldn't order any food
Yeah.
and just wait till my friends. I started getting a reputation for just being just super cheap. I would wait till they were full, and then I would eat their
Take whatever's
leftovers.
left. Yeah. I was gonna say
I
steal a
was
fry.
I
Smart.
was that guy. I was that guy for the longest time. So um yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
because I never really paid the debt. Like they never paid the debt. I just separated, and then eventually the debt was paid when they sold. I think they officially got a debt when they sold the shop. They sold the shop. I bought the shop from them.
Okay.
And then when I bought the shop from them, the all the profits they made,
See,
they were paid the debt. And
that's actually crazy because it shows you that when you focus on yourself and your own success, like you were saying before, when you do that, like the debt was still paid off. Yes, it was you buying it, but because you like kind of broke off and took it into your own
yeah,
hands for yourself, you were still like it worked out for you and it
exactly.
worked out for
So
them.
I started making more money and started like you
Yeah.
know being able to buy afford more things and
Hmm.
or save up for things really. So able to save up for like a down
Yeah.
payment for the shop, right? And that was
Yeah.
the I bought the shop. That was my first purchase. Like I worked my ass off. I was 19, and then I bought that property at 26. So it took me like
Okay.
yeah, like
Okay.
6 years of
Wow.
saving up money to buy for a down payment.
Yeah.
So
But that also kind of like makes me think a little bit because I've heard a lot, and by a lot of like mentors I have and like entrepreneurs around me always say like pay yourself first, right? So I mean, just kind of seeing like when you made that pivot, right? You were finally able to establish that and grow that, um,
Mhm.
more so than if you weren't to do that before.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was something that it was I felt like I was hitting a brick wall,
Yeah.
and and I just wasn't getting like the debt wasn't getting paid, like because they would the thing is they would make there's some financial like decisions, and I'm not trying to like bring down my parents. Great, like I love them both, taught me a lot of lessons, but
Hmm.
sometimes money was spent in ways that I didn't agree with, and
Hmm.
then it's like, oh, you worked your ass off, and then it's spent on this, like
Hmm.
something frivolous,
Can I ask,
right?
just for everyone listening, what type of business your parents had?
So my parents had appliances, washers, dryers, stoves, dishwashers. So I was actually an
Mhm.
appliance technician for from 19 to 23, so 4 years.
Yeah.
And as I was in the field every day fixing appliances, I actually yeah, only have one job as like as employed. I worked at a restaurant
Mhm.
for 1 month, and then I became a technician. So yes, it was appliances.
You were
That's
serving or
pretty
were
it.
you in the back?
I was flipping
Oh,
chicken.
okay.
I was
Okay.
working. I grill it up.
Okay.
I did that for not 1 month. I did that for like 3 months, 3 4 months, and then I got fired.
Chef Jamie.
Yeah.
Chef Jamie.
So when one
Not
door
so Chef
closes,
Jamie.
another one opens. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Opportunities are always coming in and out, it's the
Yeah.
universe. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Exactly.
Um, So after you bought the shop, what was kind of your next step after that? Because I know you went from an appliance tech to doing HVAC. How did you kind of swoon into HVAC?
Yeah, so I was helping grow my dad's business, and I was still not like I wasn't an owner of the business. I was an employee. I called myself
Hmm.
like head technician, whatever. Um, but me and my dad, we had different business styles,
Hmm.
and we were just butting heads too much.
Hmm.
So I was like, it came to a point where I was like, I need to just go on my own.
Hmm.
I didn't want to compete with my dad, so I changed industries, all industry altogether. I
Yeah.
went to something different, but not too different.
Yeah, like similar
And
business models, similar structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So I could just completely replicate like the advertising, the admin, the accounting, like everything was pretty much the same. Like it's both service based.
Hmm.
Um, obviously there was still a learning curve.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I had to get different licenses, so I had to get that. And yeah, that's how I actually kind of stumbled into HVAC by accident because I wanted to get my gas license to do gas dryers and gas stoves.
Okay.
And me just being like ADD, I signed up for the course, not really reading it. And then I started learning about furnaces and boilers. I'm like, what is this stuff? But I stuck with the course, finished it, and then it kind of worked.
Everything
Like
happens for a
Yeah.
exactly, it
reason.
worked. Nah, I started an HVAC business, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's
So you
awesome.
started it
I
as
love
under the
learning.
sister
I
company.
I'm sorry.
So sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was wondering. So you said that you didn't want to compete with your dad. So did you established AccuServe as like a sister company to your dad's?
In a way, my dad's business is AccuFix.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like same-ish branding.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
AccuFix. So I really like that name. It was like AccuFix. Kind of
Yeah.
catchy.
Yeah.
And then,
No, I like
uh,
it.
yeah.
It's
So
good.
then I chose AccuServe,
Yeah.
right? Uh, and I kind of
Toronto's
positioned
number
it as like
one
a sister.
rated HVAC company. If
Yes,
anybody's
sir.
wondering, who do they call?
The big
3 years
man right here.
straight.
Aw, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love learning
Yeah,
more about this. Like, I know you as
appreciate
Mr.
it.
Fashion. I know you as Mr. Jamie Boy.
Yeah.
I know you as
Yes.
the suit and smile. So,
Yes,
No,
this
that's
was the lead up to that
yeah.
point. Yeah.
it's funny because
Um,
I always thought originally when I first met Jamie, it was literally like at a one of the fashion events. So I had no idea you even did like HVAC or you did any of that stuff. And then Ashley told me, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool to hear the behind the scenes.
mhm.
Yeah. I don't yeah. Don't I don't always go around announcing it, but if people ask, I'm happy to share.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're
so I
very,
guess
no, I was gonna compliment him. I was gonna say
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
very open-hearted, very like open and honest person. So like
yeah,
even I was gonna use his business, his AccuServe business for a school project. Didn't work out. It's fine. It worked out
I
in the
wish
end. But no, 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 no.
I
But
wanted to.
you were so willing and you were so like Mano with you in the podcast when I asked you at the beginning, hey, do you want to do a podcast? You were like, yep. Same thing with Jamie. Hey, can I use your
yeah,
business? Yep. I was like, thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like if there's something I can give back and someone can learn from, it's like
Yeah.
we just help each other, right? We just
Mhm.
entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs, growing, just
Yeah.
helping the community, and ju- we just become better people overall, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
important.
Yeah. Um,
Exactly.
Mano, you had a question before I cut you off there. I don't know if you.
If no, if I was gonna like kind of divert and go into it like a different kind of area.
Yeah,
So if
go
you have
ahead.
something that's really
Do your
okay,
thing. Do
all
your
right.
thing.
So since we have the kind of background about like all the HVAC and everything you've done in the past when it comes to like services, how did you get into the fashion industry?
Okay, great question. So by the time into, I started exploring fashion. I've been doing HVAC for 10 years by then, right? So
Can I ask how old you are for the people?
oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, great. So for context, I started my HVAC company when I was 23, and then I started my fashion business when I was 33. So 10 years,
Okay.
exactly 10 years after. And I've been doing fashion for 1 year now, coming 1 year. And
It's almost your 1 year anniversary.
exactly. So I am 34 now.
Okay.
Which is kind of why we're filming this episode. We're trying to celebrate here, guys.
Appreciate it.
sorry,
I'm happy to celebrate it with you guys. Yeah,
I
it's
should
a
have
milestone.
gotten wine delivered to your door. I'm sorry.
Edible
It's not too
arrangements.
late. It's not too late. I'll
I'll
drop
text someone
my
right now.
address in the chat.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll celebrate soon.
We'll celebrate together for
Yeah.
sure. I'm down.
Also, if
Okay.
anybody wants to see Jamie's, Instagram for both his businesses, it will be linked in the show notes in the description, so you guys can go down there and check them out right there.
Mhm.
Perfect. So, and I just realized I didn't finish your question.
No, it's
how did
okay.
I get into
I cut
fashion,
you
right?
off. I cut you off.
No, that's okay. So I got into it because I was doing it for 10 years, and I wanted to try something different. And I've always enjoyed doing events, and like I've organized parties and basketball tournaments with my friends. So I had a dinner with someone, and his Ian Del Cruz, and he shared with me someone where a business person, no fashion experience, got into the fashion business and just took the industry by storm. And unfortunately, he passed away,
Mhm.
and he left a void in the industry.
Mhm.
It was oh, it's slipping my mind now. Fashion Men Toronto Fashion Week, Men's Fashion Week, Men's Fashion Week, I believe. And ever since then, like there just been that void. So that inspired me.
Mhm.
I thought to myself, if someone with no fashion experience was able to get into the fashion industry and do very well, why can't I? I did when I got into HVAC, I knew very little with HVAC. I just had my licenses, the bare minimum. I didn't do an apprenticeship or anything like that.
Mhm.
Right. I just used my savviness to start building something.
Your problem
And
solving skills.
yeah, exactly. Everything the accumulation of everything I've learned throughout the years from my dad, working my parents' business to AccuServe, to now at this point starting Jamie Boy,
Mhm.
and it's been quite the roller coaster.
Yeah.
I was trying to feel it out, like should I do this, dabble in that, and I made some really good connections. I did a production with Trist Media, which is the company Ian Del Cruz owns, the person that inspired me to get into it.
Ooh, wow.
Then I worked with Six Social,
Yeah.
with Johnny, and we still maintain a really great relationship. And now I work with Nick Bocci on Beyond Team, where we're looking to do some more overseas productions.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, one of them fell through, but we still got things in the
Gotta
pipeline
suffice.
that we're
Yeah.
very excited about. So just making key partnerships, working with, being fortunate enough to meet really great people,
Mhm.
and just continuing to grow it.
Yeah.
That's just what's been working.
How did you meet Gervasi?
Javasi was introduced to me through two people. A friend, someone from my team at the time. Her name was Paige, and Johnny was also acquainted with him as well. And
Okay.
he came out to one of our events at Lobby, and
Oh, really?
yeah, so full circle.
I actually had no clue that they started off at Lobby.
We started at Lobby initially, yeah. So it
Wow.
was just like a meet and greet. There was no official like learn how to walk or any of that. Just like come out, meet people, like let's talk fashion,
Yeah.
connect. And I was just talking with Javasi, and then spontaneously out of nowhere, Javasi starts guiding the models how to walk. Like some music plays, and then I just like,
No.
and then he's like,
It
she's like,
sparks
lady,
something.
exactly. He's like,
Yeah.
ladies, all right, let's like just like posture, hips, whatever. And then I
Wow.
just saw like I just saw that the models, their eyes just lighting up, and
Yeah.
they started smiling, and everyone was
Yeah.
having a great time. And I saw like they were having a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
they
And
were learning, and they're getting better. And I was like, there's nothing like this that exists. And
yeah.
just a light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, and
that's
that man's energy is contagious too. And
oh,
he knows how to
Oh
strut
yeah.
his stuff. He knows how to walk. He knows how to move his hips. Oh my God.
most definitely. He definitely talks the talk and walks the walk. No,
Yeah.
no,
100%. No,
Walks
get
the
what I
walk.
mean
quite literally. Quite literally.
there.
Quite literally.
Definitely walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was I was already doing the workshops by then,
Hmm.
but that was like I was probably that was probably the third or fourth workshop.
Okay.
And then he came in, and then it developed into that like
Yeah.
official walking runway. And then yeah, that's ever
How
since
did
then he's been part of the team, core part of the team.
how did you choose the name Jamie Boy Entertainment?
That's a great question.
Not the
Actually, a
chin
little more,
scratch.
yeah, a little more philosophical. There's actually there was a deep intent behind that,
Yeah.
and it like it was beyond vanity. As it is my own name, so it's always interesting when you choose your
Yeah.
own name, but it's more so kind of where I came from. Like I came from a place of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
As I did AccuServe, I had a partner at the time,
Mhm.
and I was very, I hate using the word abusive, but it wasn't very healthy. It wasn't a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So um
Those are the ones that make you stronger and make you learn how to guide
yeah,
yourself through certain situations, though, right?
yes, yes, it was very I was very belittled at the time, and I was left behind the scenes. He was the face of the company at the time
Yeah.
before he exited, or before I
Yeah.
bought him out, and a lot of times
Woohoo!
people wouldn't even know. Exactly, yeah,
Sorry.
it was definitely
Mini celebration.
a day, yes, a memory for the books. But
Yeah.
when I like during the time, no people didn't even know I was the owner of AccuServe, or one of the owners, right? There's two of us.
Really.
Even though I was the original founder of the company, and he came to the company
Yeah.
afterwards, 2 years after it already being established. And it was actually quite established already in 2 years. I grew quite rapidly.
Mhm.
So um, I was also shy. I would say I was a bit of an introvert. I was actually an introvert growing up, uh, and a shy person, and not. I was always comfortable around crowds or
Yeah.
speaking in front of people, and I was always kind of just working in the shadows.
Yeah.
So one thing I told myself is if I'm going to be doing this company, right, I'm gonna put myself in a position where I'm uncomfortable. Because when you're
Yes.
uncomfortable,
That's how you
that's
grow.
where you grow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like put myself in the spotlight, make it known, right, that this is my operation,
Mhm.
right? And it comes with a lot of attention, and it's something I wasn't used to, right?
Yeah.
I'm used to like again just being behind the scenes, like just
Yeah.
building something no one even knows where it came from, which I always thought was cool, but I wanted to do it different this time around.
Mhm.
And even now, like when I have the workshops and people just say hi, whatever, and uh, like I got what I asked for, right? So
Yeah.
there is a lot of attention. It still overwhelms me. Uh,
Yeah.
and I do feel my social batteries, like my social battery being used up a lot.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get to that. I wanted to get
Mhm.
used to that. I wanted Jamie Boy to be the name, so people know, like so I can grow this part of my character.
Yeah.
So there was intent with that name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mano and I always say, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah.
100%. That's the biggest thing. I
exactly.
feel like with every entrepreneur, like not with every, sorry, with every person in the entire world, right? If you want to grow in any aspect of your life, growth comes with being uncomfortable, right? So if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, then you're not willing to grow. That's just kind of the
Yeah.
way I look at it. And I
Exactly.
feel like for entrepreneurs too, right? It's like especially, evident there.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
it's one of those things too that if like you feel like you're stagnant and you don't know what to do to grow next, look at like the things that make you uncomfortable and then things will start
Yeah.
changing when you focus on
exactly.
those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
But
If
that's
things are coming too easy and it's just like, it's like going to the gym, right? If you're lifting the same weights, it's too easy,
mhm,
then
Yeah.
you're not really growing. You plateaued, right? You got to go
mhm.
to that next level. You got to increase it. So where it's like it's straining, it's making you sweat, it's work, right?
You're out of
But then
breath.
that's
Yeah.
you're out of breath. So, but that's when you adapt and then you get stronger.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sounds like our leg days.
Yeah, trust me. My calves are still sore from what I did from a few days ago.
Hey, that's how you know there's growth. There we
I
go.
did back and
There you go.
biceps with Banner a couple days ago, and I still like ah.
Get get comfortable being uncomfortable, baby.
Mhm.
There we go. Hey, a
Um,
flower only grows when it rains.
I'm crying. My muscles hurt so bad.
That's some spoken word up in here.
Some poetry.
Um,
All right,
do you
love
have
it.
plans for your 1 year anniversary of Jamie Boy?
Honestly, no.
Tequila? No, I'm kidding.
Tequila.
Yeah, like every Thursday.
Yeah.
Um, maybe I should. Truthfully, I didn't put much thought into it.
If you need
Um,
help planning, we're here.
Go celebrate. And me and Ashley made that a point too now. Like now, we realize that
Any
whenever
milestone.
any milestone, like just celebrate it, because when you celebrate those little milestones, it gives you motivation to get to the next one and the
Mhm.
next one and the next one. So it gives you that momentum.
that's true. That's
And
true.
also it's a
Yeah.
reminder that what you're doing, like
It's working.
it's worth something. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, help me plan something out. Let's do it.
100%.
We got you.
Besides what we talked about already when it comes to your history and business, is there any other entrepreneur who has like really inspired you or that you look up to? Maybe not just
My
entrepreneur, maybe person in general, but
my
Or
dad, my dad
company.
definitely inspired me. He's always been like a very hard worker, very savvy. He came to Canada, and I know like I at the beginning I didn't give them the credit they deserve, but
yeah.
what he deserves, or
It's hard with
my dad
it's
and my
hard
mom.
with parents. It's
Yeah,
very
but
hard
like
with parents.
honestly, like he really did well for himself. He came to a country barely speaking English,
Hmm.
was around pretty much my age, and went from like not like working, being taken advantage of by his employer because he didn't know any better, to creating his own appliance business,
Yeah.
to a few years later buying a shop,
I think
and
we
then
need to
have
have your dad on here.
right,
Yeah.
and then it's like, and then raising me and my brother at the same time, like here
Yeah.
I am, right?
Yeah.
Like I have parents, right, to fall
Yeah.
back on. I don't have dependents, I don't have kids,
Yeah.
right? And like he did that the opposite, and
Yeah.
like so honest, and I didn't he didn't have he didn't have someone to learn from. I had my dad to learn from and all
Yeah.
this experience, right? So
Yeah.
I owe a lot to my dad. He's always encouraged me. He's always told me like he actually he told me like, you're different. You can be someone great. Like you have what it takes. And he made me believe in myself. And I
Yeah.
guess that's one reason why like I always had an unwavering confidence in my ability as an entrepreneur, even when I was like in a lot of debt. I was actually at one point close to bankruptcy, but I had like an unwavering confidence for whatever reason that I would be able to make it out, and I did. I always have. Um, and I don't want to get in cocky. When you're too cocky, that's when you get humbled. So knock on wood,
No,
right? But
Be
there's
cocky. Be as cocky as you want. This
not
is your
no no.
episode.
there's a
I was
fine
gonna
line with
say
that, but for sure, yeah,
there's a fine line, but I also being confident is really important because if you're not confident, you don't believe in yourself and what you're doing, then how are you gonna do it? Right? So
exactly.
I don't know. There's a fine line, but as long as you're not throwing shade on other people and like you're a very like you said, like I'm willing to come on here, like I want to help, like we all help each other out kind of thing. Like be confident and keep doing what you're doing. You're not, trust me, there's no cockiness there.
Yeah,
At the end of
You're
the day,
doing your thing.
everyone.
You're fucking Jamie Boy Entertainment. Come on.
Yeah. Like, well, let's be real here, guys. But see, everyone listening to this right now, I don't think anyone have an issue with that because right now everything you're saying is pure value. Everything you're saying is an experience. It's a learning opportunity for everyone that's listening.
Yeah,
So it's definitely not taken in a bad way or negative light.
yeah.
I
And
appreciate that.
honestly, you talking about your dad in that story too, kind of like I've been sitting here and kind of reflecting, kind of relating as well to what you've been saying to both of my parents in a certain way, right? Because they both have different backgrounds. My mom was educated and she had my parent or my grandparents to look up to, but the route that she took when it came to like her life path and everything was completely different. Like she moved across the country. She just kind of like took it head on by herself, right? Um
Yeah,
and I guess my grandpa specifically, because of what had happened in his family in the past with his parents, he had a scarcity mindset when it came to money, right? And so my mom's like life goal was to break that scarcity mindset
mm,
and build eternal wealth. So like
yeah,
as you're talking, like I can really relate to that. And same with my dad. My dad's like Mr. Mindset and he had his own shit that he went through as well. And story for another day. But the one thing that they've both always done is made sure to like, especially when it comes to business, induce confidence in me and like let me know and make a point or make it a point to make sure that I know that I'm capable of doing that or
yeah,
whatever I want to do when it comes to it, right?
yeah.
So
So we both
yeah,
have that in common, right? We're
yeah,
fortunate enough. Not everyone does
yeah,
have parents that instill that confidence in us and encouragement. So
yeah,
it's definitely
yeah,
something that I show gratitude for, and I'm sure you do as well.
yeah,
To our parents, and like yeah, and not just my dad, my mom as well. My mom's just
yeah,
been there as a rock for me as well.
yeah,
Both my parents have been blessed.
yeah.
So now
Um,
more of a fun little thing I want to dive into. But what's like the most memorable story from your journey so far?
Oh man, there's so many, but I would say there's always like just like random points where it's like I just pause and like take a second to reflect, and I would just look around the room, look in the situation, and I just think to myself like, how did I end up here? And there's just like multiple of those. Like one
how
time,
did I
like
end up at
yeah,
Robbie on a Thursday night with three bottles of
like
Casamigos in front of me and a sign that says the project loves Jamie Boy ENT
Yeah.
with all these
like
baddies around me?
like
No
it's
shortage.
just it's like it starts from a thought, an idea, and on your laptop, and before you know it, you're like boom, you're in this crazy space, right? Like
Yeah,
even HVAC, one I would be in a Buddhist temple eating lotus fruit with a bunch of monks
yeah.
during one of their services because I just brought them heating and they're grateful and they wanted me to join them for dinner and they're all
I
in their
love that.
monk outfits And
I
then
love that.
and I'm walking out and I just see them, doing their prayers, and then while I'm eating there, I'm just like, oh, how did I end up here?
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
or even more recently, Jamie Boy, right, where I have all the models walking during one of the shows, a full audience, uh, cheering, uh, having time with their lives, and then I look behind me and I just see my logo there, and then I just take a second to reflect, like this is real life right now,
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Like how
Yeah.
did I end up here? So
Yeah.
just those moments, and there's a lot of them, good and bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very they're imprinted in my mind, and
Yeah.
every time I think back, I can still feel the emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Aw.
They're part of you.
Aw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Aw. I'm gonna get emotional for you.
Ashley, you're a sweetheart.
You know what? I admire what you're doing. Like and that's why we brought you on here too, is like we really admire what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I think it's crazy to go from fucking HVAC to fashion.
Fashion.
Like that is a huge jump in
Yeah,
everything, in people, in service, in
very,
Yeah.
literally
very
every
different.
context, right?
Yeah, and
Definitely
I
badass.
enjoy both. I enjoy both thoroughly.
Yeah.
I enjoy both.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
You're like Hannah Montana.
The best of both worlds.
yeah,
The Hannah
that's
Montana of the fashion
one way.
industry.
Yeah.
The Jamie Boy,
And HVAC.
Jamie Boy version. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You know,
We
So
need
then-
to change it to Jamie Montana.
Jamie Montana.
it's just I always pictured like having a photo where I was like with my AccuServe team like during the day, and then nighttime it's like
Yeah. Get you a man who can do both.
Yeah.
Get you a man who can do both.
The
Get
whole
you a
other
man who can
crowd.
do both. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So then I guess was it hard? Because when you first went from HVAC to fashion, obviously there was a probably a learning curve there, right? Like to establish the business
Oh,
model,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So how did you, I guess, get over that hurdle when you were initially establishing Jamie Boy?
One day at a time. That's
Fair
all it
enough.
is.
Good answer. Good answer.
You just
Did you
do
ever
something, and then you you reflect on what you tried, and then you like adjust it, tweak it. Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a
not you
different result.
throwing lines of what we've said on here probably multiple times
Yeah.
multiple times this episode.
We've said that. Oh
That's
my god.
hilarious.
Yeah.
We both spit in bars right now.
This is straight poetry.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't overplan, but I at the same time, I like minimal viable prototype or project, and trying something but not overly developed,
Mm,
and like just creating something so it's enough to test it and then seeing how it works, and then if it works, fully further develop it. If it doesn't work, pivot to try something else.
yeah.
Right, that's always been a philosophy of mine, and I just kept doing that. Like, maybe try this venue, maybe let's try this kind of arrangement. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, let's see if Javas can run a fast show. Oh, that worked. Oh, let me see if I can get like Alexis to help support Javasi. Oh yeah, that works well. Oh, let me try.
And
get
that girl
Berners-
knows how to strut her stuff
Yeah.
too. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
she's awesome.
This
She's
one
awesome.
confident motherfucker.
Yeah. For the record, actually, I don't think it's been publicly announced, but she has temporarily stepped down from Jamie Boy just to take some time for herself. She'll be coming back though.
Okay. I was gonna ask you off the record, off this, because I know she wasn't there last time, and it was something that I noticed. But
okay, then maybe we can edit this podcast. Right?
It's okay. No. You brought it up, so it's
I did.
totally
No,
fine.
she's but super cool girl.
Yeah.
But like just I built it just testing it, like testing different things and taking it day by day.
Yeah.
But ultimately there's like, you have the end goal,
Yeah.
And I think this is where like this the mix up. I see people kind of get confused by the end goal. Like they don't know what the end goal is. Know what the end goal is. The end goal is for Jamie Boy to produce major productions in major fashion cities, Paris, Milan, so on and so forth. That's the end goal. The exact steps, don't know,
Yeah.
right? But I recognize progress, right? And I recognize what's
Yeah.
getting me closer there. So I just keep building off of that, continue the
Yeah.
momentum until I reach my end goal.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you keep yourself mentally balanced and mentally, spiritually kind of okay
That's
with
a great
everything?
question. That's a great question.
Tell us your secrets because
Yeah.
you carry yourself very well.
Honestly, I would say I do have a lot of mental toughness, and it's almost like I would say I don't know if it's something I was born with or it was something I developed. I think it's more so I developed, but
Yeah.
I experienced a lot of hardship. I had to deal with a lot of very difficult people in my life. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
who specifically, but very, very difficult individuals that were just like pretty much like I couldn't just separate with, right?
Yeah.
And it built a mental toughness or numbness. I don't even know what to call it.
Grit.
Grit. It's a great
Grit.
word.
Oh
Love
yeah.
that word. So, and then I just been thrown in situations where like, as a 25-year-old, you just lost $70,000 in 1 month.
Yeah.
Right? Now, like,
Yeah.
do you panic or do you buckle down, focus, and just figure out a game
Yeah.
plan? What's the next step now?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then being thrown in that situation many times and still being at my age 34, you know, still put sometimes like, just recently real estate market crash and I was dabbling in investment and now I'm in a situation where I've got to like, let me focus here, right?
Yeah.
So um just just that constant repetition of being uncomfortable, putting yourself in uncertainty, but
Mm-hmm.
making yourself
Yeah.
focusing, forcing yourself to be, forcing yourself to have that clarity.
Yeah.
You gain that mental toughness and that
Yeah.
calmness, and like any muscle that you
Yeah.
develop, right? It eventually it becomes, you strengthen it, and
Yeah.
you're ready for these challenges that come your way.
Yeah.
Do you meditate? I'm just curious.
I have, it's on and off. Uh, I haven't meditated in a while, but I do believe in meditation. It's helped
Mm-hmm.
me. It's put me in clarity. I think a big thing is gratitude.
Yeah.
Always
Oh yeah.
just being fortunate. I think another thing that gives me mental toughness is kind of like what you want out of life. And it's hard. This is like something I really reflect on, but I'm happy with like who I am and where I'm at. And I was happy before where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And it came to a point where I was working my ass off, right? I didn't have I didn't have a lot of money. I was like close to being bankrupt. I wasn't really like dating much because I was too stressed and so focused on work.
Yeah.
Didn't even have like I was seeing my friends here and there, but even then, I was just like when I was with my friends, I was like just too stressed about thinking about that. And I told myself like I'm about to remember this. I was like 28, 29. Like I'm about to lose everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to start all over again. And I had a bit of panic, but then I had a moment of clarity where it's like, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, you're alive and you can
Mm-hmm.
fight.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you wake up and you enjoy the fight, and the fight is like, it's almost like I don't know, maybe I lost my mind, went a little insane.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what what you enjoy in life what the real joy in life is to be able to go after what you want. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily attaining what you want, but the journey itself.
Like
Yes.
having a
It's like
purpose.
it's the purpose, exactly. You have a purpose, and it's fulfilling enough. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you have the money, the
Yeah.
material things, the girls, or any of that.
Yeah.
Like, like as long as you have what, like, as long as you're able to wake up every day and go for it,
Mhm.
that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough for me, right? It's like a video game, right? What's the best part of the video game? When you beat the game, you've backstabbed all your stats and now you have everything.
No,
No,
it's
that's the boring
jumping
part.
level
It's
to
not.
level. It's jumping
Yeah.
level
It's
to
Oh yeah.
it's the
level.
level up. It's the
Yeah.
challenges. It's actually playing the game. And I get to wake
It's the
up every day.
boost. Yeah.
Exactly. Every day I get to wake up and play the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where I'm at, what level I'm at, level 1, level 100, level 1,000. It's about I get to
Yeah.
play the game, get better at it. And that for me is enough,
Yeah.
right?
I really like that analogy. That's a really good analogy. Because I feel like that is so true, right? Especially in the video game. Because after the video game's done, you're like, hey, whatever, on to the
Bored.
next thing. You're bored.
Mano,
Exactly.
do I not
Exactly.
tell you that
So
life is a video game?
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
so
I say life simulation.
I like video game. It's a little bit more fun.
Fair enough. Fair
well, yeah,
enough.
you have save points and you can restart for sure, a little
Yeah.
less pressure. But the mindset holds true, right?
Yeah.
So like it does because I was okay with where I was at and not putting that pressure or letting the pressure of the world say you have to be this person, you have to accomplish that. Like I was okay with wherever I was or wherever I end up.
Yeah.
And because I didn't have that pressure on myself, I put that pressure on myself. I was I was able to not panic. I was able to have clarity. I was able to be happy
Yeah.
and just find peace within myself.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm learning a lot about
Very
you today.
inspiring. Yeah.
I don't think we've had like the chance to sit down and talk to this length. So like learning
And like
this, hearing you
in depth.
speak. Yeah, yeah. So I love this. I love this. I love picking your brain.
I'm happy to share. Yeah, I truthfully I've these are thoughts I keep to myself, not because I don't want to share it. It's just I've never had an opportunity. No one's really asked me. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's interesting putting it
You're
out in words.
yeah, you're a busy person too. You're always on
Exactly.
always on the go.
Yeah,
Like
I like staying on the go for sure.
I always say to Ashley, it's better to be busy than bored.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
in your case, what?
my mom tells me if you're saying that you're bored, you're just being lazy.
Yeah.
I don't know
Boredom is
what bored is.
laziness.
I don't know what bored feels like. I haven't been bored and
And
I
that's
can't
a good
remember the
thing.
last time I was bored, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No.
So,
Because you're not
I guess
lazy.
yeah. And going off that, since you like you obviously have a unique situation because you have multiple ventures. So how do you, I guess, balance your different business ventures and like the responsibilities that come with all of those different things?
Having a team, having a team is so essential. Time management and having a team and being able to prioritize. But yeah, I have systems and processes in place to get things done, and then I trust certain people uh, to execute those responsibilities, and I trust them to do so. Right.
Yeah.
So you can't split yourself to, and then throw yourself in multiple locations. But what you can do is you could
Hire someone.
you can you could emulate what you would want to what you would be doing somewhere else, train and project it into someone. Or
Yeah.
that's a fancy way of saying train someone
Train
to
someone, delegate tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying delegation. Uh, and then that way you're able to be in several fronts and push in several fronts and
Yeah.
be able to juggle all these responsibilities in these businesses.
Yeah. I'd say the strongest people in the world are the ones who like have teams.
Yeah.
Team building is essential.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're human beings, like it's in our nature to be stronger as a team, right?
Yeah, just some quick cliff note, like for people that's really trying to grow themselves as entrepreneurs. I always say like, the four main skills to be successful is being able to understand numbers, be good with financing, budgeting, being able to market, being able to sell yourself or sell your product or service,
Yeah.
be able to what we just talked about, manage people, create teams, delegate responsibilities, keep them accountable, recognize KPIs, key performance indicators, and making sure they're met by your team.
No way, you just pulled out the KPI.
Yeah, the
KPIs,
KPIs.
baby. KPIs, yes. I can't talk about being an entrepreneur without KPIs. And then the fourth one is sales.
Yeah.
Right. So similar to marketing, but marketing is more so creating like content and material that promote a brand. Selling is like more of an individual skill, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily need to sell a brand. I can sell an idea. I can sell it's like persuasion. I can persuade people. I can persuade people to like, hey, let's, even just like, hey, let's go to this. If we take it to like a promotion context, let's go to this nightclub. That itself is sales, right? So or buy this, right? So those, if you have those four skills, or even like hire me, right? That you're selling yourself, hire me, I can do this job.
Yeah.
So if the more you advance in those four areas, the more skills you'll have to be able to enter any field and do well in it. And I always say, like, another cliff note: don't pursue the money. Don't chase the money. Don't get so fixated on the dollar value, like where you start doing like a mundane job or task, but it pays really well, but you're not excelling in those four skills. It's tempting and it's easy to get complacent in that position. I would say as long as you're able to still pay the bills, you're better off putting yourself in a position where you can grow one of those four skills, if not all, right?
Yeah.
So if you have to accept less pay, but now you're in a management position, right?
Yeah, you're really making me reflect on my life right
Exactly.
now.
No, you know what? He's so right. You are so right about that. And we've also talked about that before, right? About the money, right? Because a lot of people have, their only goal is the money. And when you chase the money, it's like chasing a cat, right? You're never gonna catch the cat, right? Because it's running away from you.
Yeah.
You have to bring the cat to you, and you do that through following your purpose and trying to find, what gives you purpose, because then it will follow.
It's the carrot in front of a stick, right? And you don't necessarily need to be an entrepreneur, right? To become an entrepreneur, or start growing as an entrepreneur. Again, being in a position, right? If you're, honestly, if you start becoming a salesperson, right? Like that's a great skill. Be a salesperson and then grow that, right? Just become the best salesperson in your organization, right? And then when you feel like you've mastered sales, like, hey, let me take a responsibility. Let me just be a sales manager. Oh, now you're a sales manager. Now you're teaching people how to sell, and you're managing people. Now you develop two out of the four skills. Oh, you know what? Let me be like let me help. Give me the responsibility to tweak the numbers so we can maximize the profits from our sales. Now you're doing finance. Now you're understanding numbers. Now you have three of the four skills, right? And then it's like, oh, let me help you market this, and you could do this all under like the umbrella of another company. It doesn't even have to be your own business, right? If you find a boss that gives you this kind of level of control, I would say take that responsibility, because now you have that security and that platform where you can really develop yourself. So like a lot of times people think they need to be entrepreneurs by just like going off on the road and doing it themselves, right? Sometimes finding a really good boss, right? And mentorship,
or like mentor,
right? Because a boss could be a mentor, right? So if as long as you find a really good boss that's willing to be your mentor, you can actually go miles ahead. If Elon Musk called me and said, hey, drop everything you're doing, work for me, I would, and like I was like his direct apprentice, I would do it in a heartbeat, because I could learn so much from that guy, so much. That I would, by like doing AccuSurf and Jamie Boy. Like I love these two businesses, but that opportunity would be, like that's
once in a lifetime.
It's almost like a silver bullet,
and
right?
That would still be serving your purpose, right? It's just that would be a different reality.
Exactly.
I have a question.
I would learn so much.
Do you read?
like a
Do you read
lot,
books?
like a yeah, I have like a library in my head. Yeah, I've read
What's your favorite?
many
What's your
many
favorite book?
books.
What's your
So
favorite?
Napoleon Grow Rich or Napoleon Think and Grow Rich
Yeah,
was like one
Think
of
and
the
Grow Rich.
first
Yep.
one of the pretty much the first business books I read. The first book I
Yeah.
ever read was like some type of entrepreneur slash like Christian book. I remember my mom gave me like how to be successful with God or something like that. And I still read some of his principles. Like some of the main principles was like accept your reality, right?
Yeah.
And adapt and then accept help from others. And like I actually like took the principles of that book and then taped
Yeah.
it to a wall so I can reflect on it. And yeah, I've read
Really?
Think and Grow Rich was a great book from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Just a,
Oh my,
like
okay. See,
That
these were the two, we're talking about mentors, right? And my like the two books that my mom swears by are Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I wanted to see what would come out of your mouth. And
yeah, no,
of
those are
course, of course.
two solid books. I think any
Yeah.
entrepreneurs needs to start with. I pretty much read the almost all of Rich Dad Poor Dad's books.
Yeah.
Um, and
So
then
what I'm
yeah,
thinking is that to celebrate Jamie Boy ENT's 1 year anniversary, we're gonna have a Rich Dad Poor Dad cash flow game night.
cash flow board game night.
Oh.
Yes. I've always wanted to play that game. I keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a Think and Grow Rich board game too. My mom got it for my dad for Christmas, I think.
yeah, I would
Okay.
honestly, I would love that. I would
Okay.
love that.
Okay.
And I love board games,
There we go.
so it's a
There we
win-win.
go. There we
Ash,
go.
do you have cash flow?
No, but I can get either I can order it or my mom can send me one of hers because she's got many. My mom actually, she worked for Rich Dad Poor Dad, like the company for a little while, and
Really?
she traveled and she taught people about like she was like a mentor for other people when it came to investing and everything. But like even like talking about mentors and stuff, like my mom, she met her rich dad, like what she would consider like her rich dad when I think she was either late 20s or early 30s, and it was just kind of like a fluke that she met him. It was through like a
Amazing.
newspaper article, yeah, but she worked for him for basically like for free for a little bit because she really like I think she had just read the book and then this
Mhm.
opportunity came up, right? And so she really just kind of gave it her all when it came to just showing up for him because she saw like the value in him as a person, and he was giving her a lot of responsibility kind of out of nowhere, and she was like, okay, like if this is happening, I need to like take it head on and trust it. And it ended up working out, and he's still in her life, he's still guiding her, they're still doing business deals. And
Amazing.
yeah, so it like
Amazing.
seeing, acknowledging and utilizing a mentor is so important, and like relationships are probably like one of the most important things in life, right?
Mentorship is huge.
Yeah.
Finding a mentor will expedite your growth by like many years fold. So another book I recommend is Mastery
Mm.
by Robert Greene, I believe that's the author.
Yeah, I have his book 48 Laws of Power. I just haven't finished it yet. So
Oh
but Robert
yes.
Greene's a great artist,
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
The
Artist.
48 Rules of Power is you gotta be a little careful with that one. But take it with a grain of salt. But the
Okay.
Mastery
Oh,
one,
the book is too big for me to get through right now, to be honest.
The book is
yeah.
huge.
It's fat. And the
Yeah,
words are so small.
The
Uh,
the
big
seven
books
habits
with
People
of
little
highly effective
words.
people. That one's good.
yeah.
Which one?
The 7 habits of highly effective people.
I've heard of that book. I've heard of that book, and I was supposed to read that.
Yeah.
I don't think I did, but no, I don't think I read that. But yeah, that's definitely my bucket list.
I think we need to start a book club.
Yeah. Entrepreneurial book club.
Books are great. Books are
Yeah.
great. I'll confess I haven't read a book in a while, but in my early 20s to mid 20s, even kind of late 20s, I read a lot of books. I would write notes about them, what I learned, and I studied like a plethora of topics from
Yeah.
business. I read like I would listen an audible, a full psych textbook,
Yeah.
behavior economics,
Have you
statistics.
heard of The Power of Now?
I No, not that one. I have.
No. Okay.
It sort of rings a bell. If
Yeah,
it's a newer one, then
yeah, it might. I think it is a little bit fresher,
I've
but
started to become a little out of touch with the newer books. So
yeah.
I haven't been I haven't been reading as many as I used to.
Yeah.
And
The
kind of just
Power of
like
Now is a very, like, if you're looking for something to read, it's not that long of a read either, but by Eckhart Tolle, very, very just one of those, like, when talking about gratitude and everything, like, I was sitting there and I was reading it and I was like, this is very insightful, just in the way that he speaks and the way it's so different from everything else. And it really makes you think, like, I really need to be present right now.
being
I need to
present is very
focus on
important.
what's in front of me and what's next to me, not what's behind me, right?
Yeah. My personal experience, and this might be misleading. I'm pretty sure a lot of people disagree with me, but I read a lot of books. One thing I started realizing is there was a lot of overlap in information,
Yeah.
and there's it's just like, oh, that's the same, analogy again, or same point, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I started having diminishing returns on books. I just read so many that it's like, would I get any new information out of this?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
and
started kind of like,
that's the thing with books, is like a lot of the time the intent and the ideology is the same, but the what's it called? The delivery of it is different.
is different. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
It's like different perspectives almost of the same thing.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the stuff books, I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
What
So
actually no, I feel like we already kind of, I was gonna say what has been the most fulfilling thing, but I feel like we
yeah,
have gone
I,
into
I
that.
was I was going to say, if you have any other questions or anything before we hit him with the big one.
Big
Do you have
one.
anything, Ashley?
Something juicy.
Um, what do this what does the next 6 months kind of have in store for Jamie Boy and T? What are kind of your goals for the next little bit?
So, like, I know it's cliche, but just to like hunker down and just really grind. I would say the last 2 years, I was I was focused more on making connections and like kind of just going going out of my a comfort zone, going out a lot, and just like, just kind of um really having a real big social life, not a really big social life, right? Uh, Not that I'm gonna like become a hermit or anything, but these next 6 months, kind of with summer around, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how much this actually
I was gonna
happens.
say that's gonna be a little
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I do want to just really grind and focus on like my vast list of to-dos, right? Like if it comes down to a night out or just like hunkering down and getting through my to-do list, I'm going to prioritize my to-do list versus like going out and partying.
Well, and when it comes to
Despite the guy that just was at Century last night.
you know what? I think especially with the workshops and everything too, like it's gonna be really easy for you to balance that because you have that like designated at least day or 2 days a week where you're going, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So I already, So I feel like if I'm going out too much now, the balance is gonna be tilted the other way. So I'm gonna be trying swinging it more towards just like growing my HVAC company a lot more. I'm gonna be a lot more focused on AccuServe. But don't think that Jamie Boy is not
Oh
gonna go.
no.
That
Never.
it's still gonna
Yeah.
blow up. So yeah, just balancing the both businesses very equally and in the real estate as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, just really just
Yeah.
focusing. Get into my to-do list. Yeah.
Ready to
And
see
what
that Paris Fashion
advice?
Week.
Oh,
Sorry?
you better
I
be
said
bringing those.
ready to see it at Paris Fashion Week.
You know what? I don't even know when it is, to be honest. Like I just like I
That's
started
okay.
watching runway stuff and all that stuff, and it's just like I don't. It wasn't like I just wasn't there yet. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I felt like I wasn't gaining the knowledge to help grow Jamie Boy yet. So I just like was focusing. I'm still more focused on just the workshops,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when I start getting closer
Yeah.
to that stage, then I get myself more familiar
Well,
with
and as
it.
the workshops,
Yeah.
as you focus on the workshops, your network is going to keep growing, and people are like, the word is going to get out there, and then that's where those connections come in who teach you about that stuff. It'll all just fall into place, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, this is a big question too. What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs? What would be like, if there's anything that you could leave this earth, like if you were to die in the next little bit and you had to leave one piece of advice, what would that one piece of advice be? Sorry, we're not killing you off, but
Ashley's plotting.
It's like I
it's
just
the Aquarius,
look at
man.
my
I'm
will.
sorry.
And like my was like, whoa, Ashley's on my will now. I consider been Jamie Boy. What's going on? Okay. One piece of advice I can give to young entrepreneurs. One piece of advice, the most impactful. We covered a lot of points.
We did.
Right. So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of them are very key, from learning the 4 skills to mentorship. But I would say, like, don't get so fixated on like getting this by that time.
Yeah.
You know, don't get so fixated like, oh, I need this much money by this age.
Yeah.
I need to be a millionaire. I need to have a BMW. I need to be I need to have not be a BMW, but have a BMW or a Ferrari or whatever, right? That's just because like focus on growing your skill set, and then those things will follow, right? Just again, being happy with the journey. Also, something I didn't talk, something new, delay of gratification. That's also a big one. A lot of people, they want to, flaunt and buy an expensive jewelry, buy an expensive car, whatever, right? And then it just like it puts a toll on their budget or whatever, and that's actually slowing you down. You're impressing people that you don't need to impress. It's like people are gonna respect you more and will be impressed more when you actually build something, that that time will come, right? If you're buying something like flashy, that's something you buy because you just enjoy yourself. You don't do that stuff to put an outward front, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, live within your means.
You want to be feeding,
yeah, live within your means. Like, just make your luxury expense or your leisure expense just a very small part of your budget, and make the majority of your budget to save money. I know something like your parents
or
told
invest.
You. Invest, right?
Yeah.
Invest. Invest. Invest your money in opportunities that help you grow and get into the position where you need to be, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't
Okay.
know if that
Mano's
was
got
juice. Yeah.
No, that was good. That was beautiful.
Amazing. No, yeah.
Mano's got one last
Sure.
This is our big one.
Our
Oh, okay.
signature
Okay, this is
question.
the big one. I thought the last one was the big one. Okay, I was like, I don't know
Oh
if
no.
that was a juicy enough answer for a juicy enough question,
No,
but
no,
okay.
that was it was
That was
perfect. Don't
great.
worry.
It was a lot of golden
Okay.
nuggets there. We loved it.
All right.
This
So,
one is our signature podcast question. So, what does embodiment mean to you?
oh, that's why you said like right off the bat, I used the word embodiment. Oh, let me just search it on Google. Like,
No, no. What does embodiment mean to Jamie?
Like you personally.
embodiment.
One,
Oh man, I don't even really use that word a lot. So when I used it earlier, I kind of caught myself off guard. But embodiment for me would just like to take it in its fullness, right?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, for it to be all of you
Yeah.
fully absorbed into it.
Yeah.
So when I say embodiment, right? Like for example, uh, uh, hmm, I would need a little bit more like of the
I think
context.
no,
Yeah.
I think you
I
answered
think
it.
you saying yeah, you did
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
say
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. So
So
we ask whenever we have a guest on, we ask them this question. It's our signature. So that was actually every answer is a little bit different, but obviously going to be similar. And we haven't gotten that one yet before. So
Exactly.
yeah,
okay,
So,
cool. Yeah,
I
that's
like
how
it.
I would say
Yeah,
but
yeah.
before we hop off here, I just want to give you an opportunity, Jamie, to really like just say anything you want to say, like plug anything you want to plug.
Throw your socials
Before
out
we hop,
there.
throw your socials. We'll have them in the descriptions of the podcast in the episode notes. But you can say anything you want right now.
sure. Awesome. So for all your heating and air conditioning needs, call AccuServe. And if you want to enjoy a great fashion show, check out my productions, Jamie Boy underscore ENT for
And that's
productions,
JAIME.
MEBOY underscore ENT. That's for everything for fashion shows. We focus on runway. And if you are an aspiring model, we have our weekly workshops every Thursday as of now.
Yeah. Or if you're a photographer, if you're looking for somewhere to network, if you're new to Toronto, anything.
If you're a designer,
Yeah.
we'd love to collab with you. The workshops are for models aspiring, um, even experienced models.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there you get to learn how to walk and pose in other fashion creatives and have the opportunity to be in other fashion shows
Yeah. And
and
build your confidence.
build your
Yeah.
confidence.
It's been a key
And
one.
the first business tag is AccuServe, ACCUSERV. So
Yeah.
I was just about to say, like, where can they contact you for AccuServe?
yes,
So yeah,
so
so Instagram, where do you prefer? Do you prefer Instagram, email, phone?
AccuServe, just put in a Google, just type it in Google. You'll find us pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. Jamie Boy ENT. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. It's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me here. I hope I was able to provide some valuable information.
You did. You
Definitely,
did.
definitely. This is going to be a banger of an episode. So we're so grateful. Thank you. Again, gratitude. We are so grateful to you for
Yes.
accepting this invite, coming on, and so graciously sharing all your knowledge with everybody here. I hope that, this conversation was as beneficial to you as it was to us.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. To put my words out there, it even helps me self reflect. So thank you for giving me this
Yeah.
opportunity.